Welcome back to It Was Never a Phase Cards. In today's Pokemon Market Update, we're going to start off with some stuff that's been dropping pretty big, but then towards the back half of the video, move with some stuff that's actually been moving up in value pretty big and actually may surprise you. And we have to start off with the number one graded Pokemon card of all time. This new McDonald's Pikachu promo is continuing to drop in price. You can see raw price around $32, $33 currently from a peak price of not that long ago, at $66. It shows 27% drop in the last 3 months. However, it's actually more like a 51.5% drop from the peak to where we are currently at. So a very big drop in this card. Not really very surprising considering it was a free card from McDonald's. It's really not that crazy of a card. So it does kind of make sense, and there are a ton of them out there. We will also real quickly touch on PSA pricing, which has dropped a ton. These were selling for over $200 for a while. But now you can see here's some of the more recent solds into, the $60 range, high 60s. I mean, with shipping, you're at, $74, $75. So in the 70s and 60s for a lot of the last sold. So not very surprising there either. Once again, considering the population on this card, which we do have an update on. Every day, this number is growing. It's at 96,481 in a PSA 10 with over 107,000 cards graded just from PSA alone. And I am willing to bet that there are still an absolute ton of these cards at PSA. One of the downsides actually to PSA currently, especially with a card like this, you're not wanting to pay for a rushed service. So you're going to have to wait. And they are so backed up that it is taking months and months to get your orders through. So this is a classic example of maybe when you sent the card out, it was going for 200 plus in a PSA 10, and now it's going in the 60s and 70s. So that is definitely one of the downsides to PSA. You're not able to capitalize on, the time frame in which you need most of the time. So that is the McDonald's Burger Chew update. Now I wanted to give a little bit of an update on Mega Evolutions. Unfortunately, the set, it's been out for a few months now, and it's just continued to fall and fall. Right now we're looking at the booster box right here. This is the enhanced version with that stamped Bulbasaur promo. Currently, it has bounced back a little bit since a few days ago. November 5th right here, it hit a low of $246. It's up around $10 to $257 currently, but it's just been hit hard in the past month, down 16%. You can see pre-release pricing, it's a little bit higher than some of that. You can see it right here, $237 3 months ago. But yeah, it peaked at around $326 was the 3-month high. And it's just been one of those sets that it's just been hit with maybe a little bit of fatigue. The market's down overall. And the box prices just aren't really holding up that great. All things considered, we're also seeing ETBs at a pretty low price, honestly. This is one of the cheapest ETBs on the market of any ETB, if you can believe that. They're down 28% in the past 3 months. Obviously, there's two versions. The Gardevoir one is the cheaper of the two, right? Currently down to around $77, so just continuing to drop in price. And just to show for perspective here, these are all of the Elite Trainer boxes on TCG Player sorted from price low to high. Currently, the cheapest one on the market, just to give everyone a little bit of perspective, is Twilight Masquerade at $65. So you're $12 more expensive for, the newest release set as of this recording. Phantasmal Flames isn't out yet. I don't think Phantasmal Flames are going to get, it might take, if they get to this price, it's definitely going to take a little bit. But this, a lot has to do with the fact that there's two. Here's the other one. The Lucario one's actually at $84, so $7 more expensive. Surging Sparks is at $70 in ETB. Battle Styles for a very old Sword and Shield set at 73, then Shrouded Fable at 76. So Mega Evolution is only $1 more, 99 cents more than Shrouded Fable as far as ETBs go. Another Battle Styles, and then honestly some other ones that have been pretty affordable new sets. We have White Flare and Black Bolt, $83 and $78, journeying together $81. So you can kind of see where things have been panning out as far as ETBs. You scroll down to the bottom of the page. There's still quite a few ETBs under $100. Some Sword and Shield era stuff. You got Silver Tempest still at 96, Astral Radiance at 92. So just a little bit of an update on kind of where the ETB market is at for standard Elite Trainer boxes. It's good always to kind of do stuff like this, just kind of put things in perspective. So that's where we're at with ETBs. Now, it's mostly the cards that have been dropping the most. The sealed, as far as Mega, has been holding up better, but we're continuing to see a drop in the gold cards, and there's continuing to drop even more right now. Only 32 copies of the gold Lucario listed on TCG Player, from a high of over $700 to current markets at $499. Lowest listeds are starting to get a little bit lower than that, nothing too crazy. Upper 400s, pretty much holding, at least for the moment, around that $500 mark. So that's been an over $200 drop from the peak, which is pretty substantial of a drop. It'll be very interesting to see long term kind of where these cards like bottom out or level out. So it will be something that I'll be monitoring fairly close over the next few months. So make sure you stay subscribed with notifications on, as I do post every single day, so you guys can stay up to date with the market. I'll do all the work. You guys can just reap the benefits of me pulling up all this information. Next up is the Mega Gardevoir. Similar situation right here. You can see a peak of around 610. Currently 423 market price, but you can see listings are in the $300 range, upper 300s, 390s. So this card taking quite a big tumble as well. These gold cards do look good. They've been very controversial. It's very love or hate. I think it's one of those ones where you kind of have to see it in person, I do think. But regardless, being hit very hard, just the whole set being hit very hard. It's not specific to these gold cards, right? As you're going to see in a second, we'll take a look at some of the special illustration rares and regular illustration rares as well. But before we do that, I did just want to remind you guys that if you are new to the channel, or even if you're not, you're going to want to enter this giveaway. Phantasmal Flames is coming out on Friday. We are doing a giveaway, the biggest giveaway we've ever done on the channel. And actually, I do have some unfortunate news about it. We're still doing the giveaway. Nothing's changing. But there will be a link in the description if you want to enter. But I just got a alert from Walmart last night where I was able to, like, it's just one of those things. I was actually able to get some booster bundles at MSRP. I was very excited about it. And then apparently my credit card that I had used declined the transaction, and Walmart just canceled my order, and the customer service was not helpful, so I lost out on my booster bundles at MSRP. We're still doing the giveaway. If I have to buy at market to do the giveaway, then it is what it is, and that's going to be unfortunate for me. But anyways, we're still doing the giveaway: booster box, ETB, booster bundles, stuff like that. Link in the description if you want to check it out. Just a little bit of a reminder there. So yeah, I'm a little salty about that, but it is what it is. I mean, it's like you finally hit on some actual product, sealed product at MSRP, and then it just gets like taken from you. And the crazy thing about it too was, like, I woke up, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I heard my phone go off, but by the time I got to it, it was too late. It was like 20 minutes later, because I was obviously sleeping, and I wasn't able to, like, it said like, oh, is this fraud? Yes or no? Or like, did you make this purchase? And by the time I, had texted, yes, this was me, back on the thing, it had already been canceled. So anyways, enough woe is me. Here we have the Mega Lucario SIR, another one that's been hit very hard. And you can see pre-release high of $405 down to $225. So a 44% drop on this card. Still holding pretty good. Still over a $200 card. That is some very good value there. And this is a fun card. I do like this of him, Lucario fighting Venusaur. I do think it's a fun card. Looks great. Lowest listeds are a little bit lower. This card looks like it may be continuing to drop a little bit, right? Market at 225. Lowest listeds in the 220 range, right? 219, 220s. So maybe slowly going to continue to drop. Kind of high supply card, over 100 copies currently. So that definitely is playing a factor. Mega Gardevoir, I think between the two, I think that this card looks better overall. I mean, I like what's going on here better, but I think this card it's a little bit more stunning. This is the SIR number 178, down 59% from its all-time high. 550 was the all-time high of this card pre-release. Now it's down to 220. Lowest listeds, 210 in the two teens. So another one, although the bleeding on this card has slowed down, it is still dropping in price. So not as many copies on the market currently as the other card there, but 97 copies. So continuing to drop day by day, slowing down, but still dropping overall. So yeah, the SIR is just being hit hard. Now the Mega Venusaur at release was 200. It did go up to around 230. From that price, it's dropped down all the way to 160. Lowest listeds right now for an English, you can pick up a Japanese copy for 100. But for an English copy, you're looking in the 150s. So another one that is just continuing to drop. We haven't seen the bottom on these SIRs just quite yet. Every day, this card is dropping more and more. Slowly, right? You can see over the past few days, it's only dropped a few dollars, but continuing to drop. Next up, the Mega Latias. This one's been hit rather hard as well. The Latias got hit pretty hard from Surging Sparks as well when that, happened, but anyways, this is SIR number 181, down 46, almost 47%, from a high of around 246 down to 130, and it is continuing to drop as well. Lowest listeds are below the current market price, into the 120s, lower 120 range. So not slowing, not stopping, slowing down a little bit as far as how much it's dropping, but it's just going to continue to drop into, at least for the foreseeable future. Once again, 117 copies is a lot, so higher supply, people are just not buying these cards at these prices. Just for a reference point, looks like the most that sold in a day was 14, but it seems it's around 2 or 3 average. You have some that are only like 1. So yeah, it's just not a big mover currently. You want to talk about an IR that is super cheap, by the way. All of the IRs too across the board. It's not just the Inteleon. This is just one that I was focusing on because of how cheap it is. All the IRs, you got the Vulpix, which is a really nice IR, the Steelix, they're all doing this, right? They're all dropping and continuing to drop. But right now, if you want to talk about a really affordable, nice looking card, this is the Inteleon number 142. It's down 85%. So this one got hit massive. It was at $22, $23. It's a $3 card now and 537 copies. So one that has a ton of copies, you can pick it up for, market's at $3.40. You can get it for $3, $3.04. So I don't know if it's going to get into the $2 range. That seems like that would be really, really low. The 3s seem really low for this card, but maybe people just don't like Inteleon. He did have an alternate art that isn't particularly very valuable either, but I think this is a cool card and a cool pose. But $3 just is kind of crazy. Super cheap. So if you guys are looking for a nice IR to pick up on the cheap, maybe check out the Inteleon. There's a few other really great cards from Mega. I think the Stuffle, the Shuckle, those cards are pretty affordable as far as IRs go, and the Litleo. So some on the cutesier side, but good IRs nonetheless, and very, very affordable right now. So if you want to pick up a few, go make sure you check those out. But we're also going to focus on some stuff that actually is moving up, which stuff is continuing to move up in this aspect, and we're going to talk about some Japanese stuff. This is the Team Rocket's Mewtwo in Japanese. It's not up as crazy, but it's just kind of interesting to look at how much some of the English stuff is dropping or correcting. And then you have the Japanese side. It's not everything on the Japanese side either, but we are seeing some stuff continuing to move up, which I do find very interesting. So this is the Mewtwo right here. It's up, it's only up 6% in the past 3 months. So it's not that crazy. It's gone from 217 to 236, but it has moved up. And lowest listeds, you have one at 236, and then it goes up from there. So, and not that many sales happening per month, right? You can see 2 here, 3 here, and 1 here. So, only a handful in the past month, but it's a lower supply card as far as TCG Player goes, right? Only 20 copies currently listed, but it is trending up. So I do find that interesting. The booster box is moving up as well. The Glory of Team Rocket, once again, it's not up that crazy. Okay. It's only up 3-4%, but I just thought it was worth noting, from a low of $94 up to around 100 currently. Lowest listeds right now, you got to scroll through. I hate that they have all these stupid listings for Korean and other things. It's like they didn't. Anyways, I have my gripes with TCG Player, but lowest listed right there at 100. So the box has been moving up. The chase card of the set has been moving up. And then we talked about this recently, but just another update on the Umbreon from Terastal Festival. This is the SAR number 217. This card's up a lot bigger, right? 30% in the past 3 months, from a low of 246 up to over 300, and it's continuing to climb, right? 328. Lowest listeds right now, are, you got, I mean, one at 320, one at 326 if you include shipping. This one's in the 330s, but then it goes up to 350 and up for near mint copies. So, continuing to trend up. If you zoom out on this card, we can see, previously it had been as high as 427, and then it fell off of that. That was in January. This card fell off all the way till August to hit that low of 245 right here. And then since then it has rebounded back up. So the card is trending up. It's nice to see. The English copy has been moving up recently as well. I think it's around 1200 English. Maybe it's been dropped a little bit back down into like the 1100-ish range. I haven't checked on it in a minute. But, the Japanese Umbreon has continued to move up. And I do find that interesting. PSA 10s have been moving up in price. Here's a few of the more recent sales. Some of these have been kind of fluctuating, right? You can see 520, 545, 647. These ones seem a little high. 2 at 647, 604, 530 crossed out. So this one was probably closer to 500. Upper fours. So it's kind of looks like around 500-ish, plus or minus, seems to be the current going rate for this card in a PSA 10. Another card that has been graded a lot. Here's a little bit of an update for the pop report if you guys are interested. 53,735 copies of this card exist in a PSA 10. Very high gem rate, 60,000 graded with 53,010. So a very easy card to gem, as most Japanese is. But I just wanted to mention, that this card has been moving up, which is nice to see. So it's not just everything going down. The Japanese side has some stuff moving up, or just kind of holding too. There's a lot of on the Japanese side that's just holding steady. The booster boxes on the Trassel side are taking a little bit of a dip right now, but they're moving up overall, right? Up around 11% on the 3-month chart, but a little bit of a dip. They were over 100 at 106, kind of 107 range. Now they're down to right around $100 currently. So a little bit of a dip just in the past month, only 2-3%, but trending up overall. You can see in the past year, this box has been as low as around $80, and previous high was around 120. So we're really not too terribly far away from an all-time high on this box. That would be interesting to see if it can get back to this point, but it's been moving up just rather slowly. Lowest listeds, there's just a few right here at 100 and 103, and then it goes up to 105 and 108. So probably going to bounce back off of this and continue to trend up. But Trassel Festival actually looking pretty good on the Japanese side. And then a little bit of an update of another card that's moving is the Cynthia's Garchomp. This is obviously in our English Destined Rivals, but it's from the Japanese set Heatwave Arena. If you're not familiar, SAR number 087. This one's up 12% in the past 3 months, from 160 up to 180. And right, current market 181. Lowest listed, this one's actually continuing to trend up right now. 190. Looks like 2 in the 190s, and then would be up to a $200 card potentially. So that's interesting to see. It has been as high as 350. I think that was pre-release pricing, and then it came down obviously to a low of 160. So it'll be interesting to see if it can get back to and break that $200 mark. So this has been falling off for a while, and now we're starting to see some decent growth on it. And then lastly, a little bit of an update on the booster box that it comes from, which is the Heatwave Arena, up around 7-8%. Once again, nothing crazy. I could focus more when it comes to these videos on just stuff that has been dropping, because there's been so much that has been dropping. But I also wanted to, just touch on some little bit of a positive stuff that's been moving up. And like I said, nothing on the Japanese side is like shooting up crazy. It's pretty more organic growth, slower. So that's good. It looks a little bit healthier, as far as what we've seen happen on the English side, right? We had so much explosive growth that we're seeing a lot of that get taken back right now, and there's just so much been going on the English side. But we're on the cusp of Phantasmal Flames coming out. It looks like I'm hearing, I don't have distribution access, so I can't confirm this, but it sounds like ETBs for Phantasmal may be delayed. So that may play a little bit of a factor. And also, I think they're splitting it into 2 waves. So I think we're getting, just like they did with Mega, so we're going to get an initial launch of Phantasmal, and then like a month later, we'll get the second half. I don't know what this percentage split is going to be. So that might affect prices a little bit as well. It looks like too, we've talked a lot about the Charizard from that set recently. It looks like the pull rates seem to be pretty generous, which once again, we kind of knew that they should be, because it's a smaller set size, so it really shouldn't be that difficult to pull that Charizard. So yeah, hopefully I'm still I'm still hoping that I'll have a chance to pull it, albeit with that recent Walmart cancel that I mentioned earlier. A few of my booster bundles gone, so we'll have to see how many packs I'm going to be actually opening just to have a chance to pull that card. But very exciting, and I think the price on the secondary market has been dropping pretty fast as well, just because there's been so many copies. I think they're down to around $1,000. So we'll have an update on that either at release or next week, a little bit after release, just kind of see where like the dust starts to settle, if you will, kind of around that set. So very exciting times though. And then we should be getting some more possible pre-order stuff here in the next few weeks, maybe. I don't know when exactly that's going to happen for newer sets. And then some Mega Dream reveals should be slowly trickling in, hopefully, over the next week or two as well. So some very exciting news coming up. So make sure you stay subscribed with notifications on. I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.